Elon Musk just uncovered Joe Biden's criminal past. Welcome to Cash Street, where cash is always king. Joe Biden fails to acknowledge Tesla's role as a major electric vehicle innovator. The conflict has begun to escalate as a result of Elon's attention. Joe Biden hosted an EV summit on August 5 that would embody his presidency's values. The event was attended by a large number of business leaders, including executives from General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler's parent company, Stalantis. However, Elon Musk was absent from the American EVS leadership. Imagine not being invited to an EV summit despite being the most successful electric vehicle manufacturer in the United States by more than tenfold. Elon Musk tweeted, "Yeah, seems odd Tesla wasn't invited," expressing confusion. Perhaps it was just a mistake or coincidence, right? Well, Elon Musk was going to change the game with an achievement Biden couldn't deny. The launch of 4 astronauts into orbit on September 15 was a remarkable human achievement. SpaceX's tour of the renowned Dragon Resilience from space is seen by hundreds of thousands of viewers. SpaceX spends hundreds of millions of dollars on the same 2 children's research hospitals with that network in mind. Despite this achievement, President Biden carried on without speaking. One client asked Elon, "The leader of the US wouldn't actually recognize the 4 most current American space travelers who aided raise a huge number of dollars for Holy Person Jude. What's your hypothesis on why that is?" In response, Elon said he's still sleeping, referring to Israel's former prime minister who had said that Biden was sleeping during a meeting. The proposed EV deal drafted by Joe Biden appears to unfairly distribute EV tax credits to union factories, of which Tesla is not a member. That appears fine because Tesla does not require assistance from the government. Biden, on the other hand, is not only ignoring Tesla's advances but also making decisions behind closed doors. Biden made the claim at the EV summit that GM CEO Mary Barra is one of the reasons why EVs has progressed so much, and went on to talk about a Zoom call that Elon was not part of. "I want to tell General Motors that I believe she is one of the reasons we are here today. We had a lengthy Zoom call with a number of labor leaders and other major business leaders, and she made a promise and is keeping it." Musk went on to explain how the unions control Biden because he was clearly dissatisfied with Biden's actions. You know, like when Biden held this EV summit, he did not invite Tesla. Instead, he invited Jim Ford, Chrysler, and the UAW Navy Summit at the White House. None of them mentioned Tesla. Instead, they praised German Ford for leading the EV revolution or something else. This is certainly not a political channel, and I underwrite no party except for any reasonable person who would agree that Biden and truly any administration chief needs to speak to associations and lobbyists. Because lobbies have the sole purpose of influencing the opinions of public officials, lobbying is practically equivalent to bribery. Lobbyists cost legacy automakers millions of dollars annually. For instance, in the year 2021 alone, GM spent more than $7 million on lobbying. More importantly, the government has specifically fed the United Auto Workers, or UAW for short. One of the largest unions in the United States, the UAW works to improve benefits for its members. That sounds great on the surface, but the UAW also charges a lot of money. Workers have to pay 1.44% of their gross pay to join the UAW. 1.44% of a $50,000 salary is $720 per year, which is a lot. So where does all of this money go? New investigations indicate that UAW leaders regularly illegally steal a significant portion of the union's funds. To date, 16 people have been caught, and auditors have discovered over $2 million in improper expenditures by UAW employees. This spending included payments for child support and gambling guns, both of which clearly have nothing to do with the UAW. Before he believes that the UAW fees are pointless when Tesla offers more superior benefits without them, Elon Musk has publicly spoken against unions. The United Auto Workers hold a lot of power and frantically control the government, despite their irrationality. Ron Barron, a billionaire fund manager and an early Tesla investor, think that Biden's decision to exclude Elon is completely absurd, especially in light of Elon's positive impact on the world. They invite foreign General Motors, Chrysler, and the United Auto Workers to a White House meeting to thank them for everything they've done to advance electric vehicles, but they don't invite Tesla, which is crazy. Politicians have recently been talking about a possible attack on unrealized capital gains, which is why we display gains on stocks that have not yet been sold. Elon dislikes his tax proposal very much, which the Biden administration has proudly supported. Elon Musk recently made a promise to sell 10 of his Tesla stocks in order to cover any unrealized gains taxes that might be levied against him as a billionaire. Biden recently stated that GM was the one that electrified the auto industry, as if the rivalry between the two men couldn't get any worse. Everyone is aware that Tesla has led the development of electric vehicles, as the company first introduced the Roadster in 2010 and has since introduced a model without Plaid. Despite Tesla's successes, Biden referred to GM CEO Mary Barra as if she had electrified the auto industry. "You're aware of how crucial it is, Mary. I can recall speaking with you in January about the need for electric vehicles in the United States. And I can also recall your shocking announcement that GM would be 100% electric by 2035. You changed the entire story, Mary River. You electrified the entire automobile industry. I'm serious, you led, and it matters." GM deserves credit for introducing the first electric vehicle in the 1990s before ending the program several years later. Elon's mother, May Musk, made a joke about how Biden's speech must have been referring to GM's EVs in the 1990s because it was so out of date. Biden's speech was written 20 years ago, just before GM killed the electric car, she tweeted. The incorrect file was uploaded by his speechwriter. Elon Musk responded with a sigh and attached a video of Biden losing his way during a speech. "If something is important to you that you would like to be able to do anyway, I think we can accomplish a lot." In response to Elon, one Twitter user stated that Biden's speech was a slap in the face to all American Tesla employees who had worked so hard to actually lead the company. As most of you are aware, Kamala Harris, the U.S. Vice President, is a member of the Biden administration. As Elon responded, Kamala made a subtle dig at Tesla shortly after Biden's speech by stating that the bipartisan infrastructure law will allow us to manufacture electric vehicles, their batteries, and the components that go into them in the United States. The future will be made in America rather than by other nations. By asserting that the Biden administration's EV bill is the beginning of the American EV revolution, Kamala is essentially disregarding Tesla. Everyone is aware that the electric vehicle revolution was initiated by Tesla, the leading electric vehicle manufacturer in the United States. In addition, Tesla is extremely vertically integrated, and as a result, the majority of its components are manufactured in the United States. The traditional automakers were simply too late to participate in the rise of EVs. The America Auto Index says that 65% of Model 3's parts come from the United States, while only 24 of the Chevrolet Bolts and 15 of the Ford Mach-E come from the United States. When people on Twitter said that for the first time ever, most cars made in the United States are all electric. Given the information, Elon responded that Kamala's claim that the Biden administration will build the future of American EVs is absurd. David Fires, a well-known venture capitalist, who retweeted Kamala's tweet and stated that Tesla built the future. Epic gaslighting by the White House, beginning with their snobbery toward Tesla at the EV Summit and continuing with their pretense that their union pay off and BBB will be to blame for Tesla's EV revolution. Elon responded, "Maybe they're NPCs and Tesla just isn't in the dialogue tree. Let's see if we can get them to say Tesla," in a joking manner. Given that Chevrolet is unable to successfully manufacture EVs, Joe Biden's support for GM is ironic. Due to fire hazards, GM's flagship electric vehicle, the Chevy Ball, had to be recalled recently. Due to battery issues, at least 8 Chevy Bolts produced from 2017 to 2019 have caught fire. This has affected the production of the Chevy Ball, which has been halted for the remainder of 2021. In response to an article that discussed GM's failure, Elon Musk said, "Transforming America." This channel is not a political one, and I do not support any political party. However, the Biden administration's ignorance of Tesla is unacceptable. Nearly everyone, regardless of political affiliation, ought to support the switch to renewable energy sources. Tesla ought to be included in government discussions rather than excluded from them because he is an essential component of that movement. The strong bias of the Biden administration is clearly caused by corrupt forces, such as the union connections of lobbyists or power dynamics behind closed doors. The EV revolution was not initiated by GM, and neither will the unions. Tesla deserves credit for being at the forefront of the transition to sustainable energy sources. Having said that, given how unfair the world is and how frequently corruption occurs, this shouldn't come as a surprise. Tell me your opinion on Joe Biden's fight with Elon Musk down beneath. Is Musk or Biden incorrect? Or if so, what should be altered? Please subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you from Cash Street, where cash is always king.